Hey, what is up mortals, it is Robo Celestial here, and before we get into today's video, I would like to remind you all that this is a new channel, please like, comment and subscribe to get this channel going. Part 14 of What If Deku Had Boosted Gear from DxD. Deku charges in for a punch, Tamura blocks it with a strong wave coming from it. Drag says to Albion not bad, Albion says not bad either. Drag then Deku jumps back shooting a dragon shot. A strange wave emits from Tamura with Albion saying divide divide divide. The dragon shot seems to get smaller and smaller. Deku says what was that, my attack got split in half? Albion says to Deku seems like you don't know much about your enemy, let me fill you in, there is no glory to be won against a foe who doesn't know his opponent. It's called divine dividing, it allows Tamura to divide all attacks in half at will with the other half of the attack, goes back to himself further amplifying his powers. Boost Deku runs in throwing a punch, Tamura dodges it, but Deku then hits him in the stomach sending him up into the air. Deku flies into the air, jet. At close to supersonic speed towards Tamura. Boost 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 boost. Tamura then charges at Deku, making a bright pink light from their clash causing strong winds shaking the trees. Todoroki looks up and sees a red and white line hitting each other back to back. Tamura and Deku are throwing back to back fast punches and kicks at each other, some landing, some missing. Boost divide boost divide boost divide, boost divide, boost divide. Clashes between the two happen again and again sending shockwaves everywhere throughout the forest. Deku dodges one of Tamura's attacks and punches him towards to ground, rushing right after him. Tamura then launches a huge white blast with Deku using a dragon shot back making a big black cloud. Tamura looks at the black cloud, did that do it? Deku then comes from behind then actives his Draconoxazor of Heroibus sword. Albion says behind you, Tamura look out. Tamura turns around just on time, barely dodging the attack, he stumbles back seeing a huge cut in his side. Tamura says what, how did one slice of a sword slice through my dragon armor like butter? Albion says that's a dragon slayer holy sword made by the church from our world, once wielded by a man who could kill thousands of dragons, I believe. A couple of slices from the sword and you will probably die. Drag laughs and says correct as always, Albion. You see, this sword called Draconoxazor of Heroibus was meant to kill dragons with its dragon-slaying properties. Deku then charges in and starts swinging a bunch of slashes with Tamura desperately trying to dodge the sword without being hit. Tamura jumps back and shoots an energy blast, but Deku cuts the blast in half with his sword and hits Tamura with 8 clean hits. Deku looks behind as Tamura's armor shatters and then watches him fall. Tamura says how could I be so weak, losing so fast even as the battle has just begun. As he falls, Tamura then realizes he still has one trick up his sleeve and starts to chant, I, who am about to awaken, am the heavenly dragon who has taken the principles of supremacy from God. I envy the infinite, and I pursue the dream I shall become the white dragon of supremacy. And I shall take you to the limits of white paradise. A big white light shines across the whole forest with white energy shooting out everywhere. Mizo, Shoto, Katsuki, Fumikage, Achako, and Sayu are standing in shock. Deku is covering his eyes from the bright light. Twice says boss really showing off his powers. Compressor says truly outstanding indeed, what powerful light. Toga says I'm more interested in the red one. Dabi just stays there and watches. Deku says to Drag what's going on? Drag says this power he is releasing his juggernaut drive. Deku says that thing you were talking about which could even rival Satan and God in your world? Drag says yes. The white light fades, a large dragon-like creature that appears charging at Deku. Deku gets ready, but Tamura's speed increase from his juggernaut lands a power hit sending Deku into the ground, making a massive crater. Tamura then launches a big white blast at the creator, but Deku dodges it, barely getting damaged by it. He then gets up, but Tamura gives him no time breath. Deku uses his sword to hopefully stop the hit, but it shatters. Tamura hits him right in the chest, launching him into a mountain. He falls to the ground out cold. Tamura walks up to Deku slowly and says, aha, I was expecting more from you, going down this easily, it's a shame. Deku wakes up in a white endless plane dimension and sees a strange person with brown hair that almost looks around his age. The strange man says, wake up, I am Issei, the previous Red Dragon Emperor, and hello Drag. Drag says likewise. Deku then realizes he is in his sacred gear. Deku says, you're the one Drag was talking about, why are you here? Issei says, I am here to help you, I see you're fighting the White Dragon Emperor. Alicia already gave you the potential, but she forgot to give you this. He hands Deku a pawn. Issei says you must already know what a pawn is by just the look in your face, but this is different. I can tell, that you're not from our world and are not a devil, angel, or a fallen angel but human. Because of this, I changed the properties of this pawn to act on its own without the consent of a king, but it will have the same powers as it normally would." Tamura is getting closer and closer to Deku. Deku holds the piece and says, "What am I supposed to do now?" Issei says, "Focus and channel the energy of the potential Elsha gave you into the pawn." He closes his eyes and channels his energy into a pawn. It starts to glow in red. Issei says, "Perfect, now chant these words. I, who am about to awaken, am the heavenly dragon who will bring hope and justice from God himself. I laugh at the infinite, and I grieve at the dream. I shall become the red dragon of justice and I shall sink you to the depths of the crimson purgatory." Tamura getting ready to finish of Deku and Mizo, Shoto, Katsuki, Fumikage, Achako, and Tsuyu are about to act to try to help. Deku then says the chant, "I, who am about to awaken, am the heavenly dragon who will bring hope and justice from God himself. I laugh at the infinite, and I grieve at the dream. I shall become the red dragon of justice and I shall sink you to the depths of the crimson purgatory." Deku is engulfed by powerful energy and is about to leave the dimension. Drag says as they go, "Thank you, you have grown since the last time I met you." Issei says, "Likewise, I hope to see you again sometime." Deku vanishes. As he does, Issei says to himself, "By seeing that boy gave me hope about the future of the Red Dragon Emperor." Tamura about to land the finishing blow, but Deku blocks it and pushes him away. He then gets engulfed by a powerful energy. Tamura asks what's going on this time. Albion says that energy is very similar, he has obtained a new transformation that rivals your powers. Tamura says, "What's it called?" Albion says it is called Illegal Move Trinia. The energy clears and Deku charges towards. "Now it's our turn." Tamura says, "Bring it," and charges back.